Karl Heger. Karl Heger was a member of the U.S. trampoline team for 22 years and won 18 national titles. He competed in 11 world championships, winning gold medals in double mini trampoline in 1988 and 1999. Karl also won synchronized trampoline in the 1991 World Games. He served in Operation Desert Storm, where he was awarded the Bronze Star, and he now works for the FBI. Karl Heger lives in Rockford, Illinois, with his two sons, Kevin and KJ. Ladies and gentlemen, Karl Heger.
Good afternoon. I'd like to thank USA Gymnastics and the Hall of Fame Committee for this great honor. I'm very happy to know the people who are very special are here to share this moment with me. My parents, Fred and June Heger, who if they hadn't gotten tired of me jumping on the bed, forced me to go to trampoline classes, and never got involved in the sport. My first real coach, Paul Swafford, who believed in me when everyone else said I was just a crazy little kid who couldn't point his toes. Unfortunately, over that time, I never did learn how to point my toes. Over 30 years of coaching, Paul charged me a grand total of $150. He paid for all his own travel, took his own vacation time to help me to go to competitions. He lived in Kansas City, I lived in St. Louis. I don't know what our phone bills were like, coaching over the phone. But Paul showed what he was made of. At 1990, he was U.S. trampoline team coach. And he traveled to the World Championships knowing that his father was extremely ill. Upon arrival, Paul learned his father had passed. Paul flew home for the funeral, turned around at his own expense, flew back to that World Championships to coach me and the U.S. team. I would not be standing here today if it was not for you, Paul. Thank you. Another special person, Jennifer Perella. She was our first and so far only Olympian, and she's been like the little sister I never had. I enjoyed watching you grow up in this sport, and it's one of the reasons I stayed in it for so long, to watch your success. I would also even like to thank program director Ann Sims. Ann's been trying to get rid of me forever. I never quit competing. Then I became the athlete rep. Now I'm an international judge. I just won't go away, will I, Ann? The best part about Ann was later on in my career, I was already using Geritol, and I was going to bed at 9 o'clock. This woman insisted on doing bed checks. At 10, I had to threaten to answer the door naked. She came and woke me up because I was the only athlete in bed before bed checks. Never mind, I taught every other athlete how to sneak out after she did bed checks. I'm sure you miss that, don't you, Ann? I would also like to thank all my U.S. teammates that I had the honor to compete with over my 22 years and the awesome responsibility for the last 11 years being selected their team captains. It was a great honor. Probably the most asked question I answer about my career is why did I compete so long? Sometimes my shoulders, my knees ask me the same question when I wake up in the morning. My answer is it was not for the medals, recognition, or prestige, but because I loved representing this country. There was nothing greater than to wear that U.S. flag on your chest and the USA on the back of your warm-up. I was never more proud in my life than the 2 times I got to stand up on the podium and watch that U.S. flag be raised while the national anthem was being played. It made me think of all the military personnel and all the law enforcement personnel who are out there willing to give their lives for this country, and knowing I was also standing not only as an athlete, but one of them while that anthem was being played. My dad taught me at a very young age how lucky we are to live in this country, and gave me the desire to represent not only the sport through trampoline, but through the military and law enforcement as well. I knew this career path would hinder my athletic goals, but I thought it was the right thing to do. I don't know how many fellow competitors that I competed against across the world had put camouflage nets on their trampoline, towed behind an armored personnel carrier so that I could train out on military maneuvers. Also, I don't know how many of them missed going to practice because they're sitting in a hot, sweltering van with a bunch of smelly men dressed up in body armor, because drug dealers can't tell time. They never make it on time, so I don't know how many of them had to deal with that. However, the obstacles I encountered in the sport because of my career choices only made me a stronger person. It's helping to face challenges that I face in my life today. The discipline, motivation, dedication, and love for my fellow teammates have given me the strength and courage to accomplish missions I'm facing today as an assistant team leader with the Chicago FBI SWAT team. I approach this job as though I'm training for the World Championships, with the only difference being the stakes are a little bit higher. The years of training and competition have taught me how to face my fears, which is what allows me to this day always be the one willing to go through the door first, no matter what the danger. The pride I've gained from representing the country on countless USA teams I've been part of helps give me the strength to know that someday I might be called up to make the ultimate sacrifice for this country, like much of our military and law enforcement are first with today. I just ask, if this ever happens, that the USA Gymnastics family would watch over my two sons here today to share this honor with me, Kevin and KJ. Both Kevin and KJ have grown up on the trampoline while I was competing and had to miss many things out in their life in order for me to keep competing into the later stages of my career. They have both been national champions in their age groups on trampoline and placed in the top 10 of the world age groups. Both of you have made me very proud, and I want to thank you for being there for me, especially this last year, which has been very difficult for our family. I just wish someone who was very special to me would have been here today sharing this special moment as well. In conclusion, I would like to thank U.S. Gymnastics once again for this honor, and if you will, in your prayers, remember our military and law enforcement, especially my friend Kevin Rice, who was killed in the line of duty 6 years ago, and Greg Roy, HRT SWAT team member, who was just killed this last December. Thank you very much.